What's going on, YouTube? What's going on? What's going on? If this is your first time, make sure you subscribe. Trying to raise my subscribers, trying to add some more content. So help me out, subscribe. If you like the video, hit that like button and let's get right into it. So I have been doing a little research on Ghislaine Maxwell. All right. I'm going to play a clip that will kind of preface and give us an introduction into who she is. And I want you to put that in context with the charges that she's facing right now, and also the fact that you really don't see anything about it on the media, right? Because this is supposed to be a pretty big case, right? If you remember what happened to Jeffrey Epstein and how he was locked up, he was supposed to go to trial and make his statements and whatever, and he mysteriously died. So her being on trial right now, it's supposed to be pretty big, but I've done, a little digging, and I don't see it publicized as much as, for example, what happened to your boy from Chicago, Justice for Juicy and all that mess. Like, now he's guilty. Who knows what the sentence is gonna be, and that was like a whole debacle. So without further ado, let me play this intro so you can hear it for yourself, and we'll just dissect it a little bit before we get into anything else. All right.
On the stage here, we have Ghislaine Maxwell, founder and president of the Terramar Project, a nonprofit whose mission is to create a global ocean community to protect and promote sustainable development of the ocean. Ghislaine is easily one of the smartest, most fascinating people I've ever met. This is proven by the fact that she holds a bachelor's and master's degree from Oxford University, is a private helicopter pilot, a trained EMT, a qualified ROV, which I had to look up what that was, and a deep worker submarine pilot, in addition to being fluent in 4 languages. This is what I had written down before I realized that she spoke at the UN 9 times since the last time I saw her. So with that, I'd like to welcome Ghislaine Maxwell.
So he said a lot. Now, just thinking about a person that is well educated, right? A helicopter pilot, she can pilot subs. She has degrees in education. She obviously is very fearless, adventurous. How does a person like that end up in a situation like this, right? This is like one of those situations where, like, when you're growing up, and your parents tell you to stay away from certain people, and you have older folks that'll tell you, show me your friends, and I'll tell you who you are. It could be one of those situations. Who knows? I don't know. It's possible, right? It could be through association, right? Could be a friend of a friend. And again, show me your friends, I'll show you who you are. Or it could just be that it was her choice, right? Because a lot of times you find that people who are highly educated are also sociopathic in certain respects, right? Like, let's not forget people like Bernie Sanders, the higher ups at Enron. These guys wore suits, right? They were pretty well educated, but criminals nonetheless, right? So, wearing a nice or expensive suit doesn't exclude you from being a criminal. Let's just be honest. So it could be any one of those things, but my feeling is that it might well be the latter. Like, she just chose to be with this guy, and things ended up where they did. I mean, it's kind of a sad situation because I would really wanted to see what was going to happen with that Epstein trial. Because from the way they made it seem, there was supposed to be like a laundry list of takedowns once he was able to testify and, name names and, so on and so forth. Now, unfortunately, you have Ghislaine Maxwell, who is just like, I guess what would be the word, complicit, I guess, in knowing what he was doing and probably not turn him in, maybe, allegedly. So it's, like I said, based on this guy's introduction, this would be a person that, you'd expect, yes, to be in high society, to be, up in higher education, yes, possibly speaking at the UN, or I don't know, maybe she's just well connected. This could be one of those things like, you've seen The Godfather, keeping things in the family. It could be one of those situations. Let's not be facetious and act like people in these family businesses, quote unquote, they don't branch it off or have, their children take over. So there's a lot to unpack. But the thing is, I'm trying to get like footage of, what's being said or what she said and questions asked. And it's like, I can't really find anything. It's like everything is being kept under wraps. Now, again, could be two things: for her safety, um, to keep the content and context of her testimony under wraps until she's finished, because maybe she might be in danger for saying what she said. That's a possibility. Or it could be one of these things where they're just trying to protect her and not let too much get out. It could be. You never know in these situations, right? Because how did Jeffrey Epstein even get to commit suicide? I mean, you have to think about it. This guy was like, I don't know, when he got arrested, like the top story in all the news. I mean, the least that could have been done was to put the resources together to make sure that he was safe because there was a first failed suicide attempt. So until he at least got through with the trial and whatever, I would think the DOJ, the NYPD, state police department, all the federal jurisdictions would be pooling their resources together, no matter how much overtime they had to pay, to make sure this guy lived. And then this happens. Anyways, I'm pretty interested to see how this trial goes. Could just be another dog and pony show, bread and circus show, and then, you know, who knows? It happens, right? You see these stars or people with a certain amount of notoriety, something happens, they're in some kind of hot water, and next thing you know, it just dissipates. Nothing. They don't go to prison. You don't even know what happens, right? It's a fact. Just there's a bunch of them out there. I'm not gonna name names, but there's a bunch of them out there. Those all those guys that got me too. How many of them are in prison? I mean, apart from Cosby, that went to prison. Where's the rest of them? All the Hollywood executives that are supposed to be going to prison. Did any of them go? I mean, maybe it's just me. Anyways, but it's food for thought. I mean, if anybody's interested in the case, if you found out something interesting, drop a comment. As I said, subscribe. I'm going to be putting up a lot of content, things to provoke thought for you to think, because a lot of times you get stuff from mainstream media is just fluff and blah. And it's nothing to get you thinking. So it is my intent to get you to think for yourself, not just accept what you're being told. Till next time, I'm out.